Hey everybody, welcome to the NFR edition of the Score podcast. We've got these coming to you every single night after the go-round. This episode is always brought to you by our partners at Resistol, at Soft Ride Equine Comfort Boots, at Fastback Ropes, and at CSI Saddle Pads, because these people have been our partners for years, making sure that we can bring you the coverage that you want to hear from the Thomas and Mack, or I guess last year was Globe Life Field. So these people, the CSI Saddle Pads, Soft Ride Boots, Fastback Ropes, and Resistol hats, they have been our longtime partners. They have got presence here in Vegas. They are people that are counted on by the people that we talk to, that we work with, by the recreational team roper, by our whole community, and we are so grateful for them. So again, these episodes, CSI Saddle Pads, Fastback Ropes, Soft Ride Equine Comfort Boots, and Resistol hats. This is Chelsea Shaffer, and this is Season 4 of The Score. You all have listened to this podcast 750,000 times, and we are here in Season 4 to bring you even more of what you love. Well, hello, Caitlin.
Hello, Chelsea. Round 9 in the books.
It is over. We have one more night here.
One more.
But
Gold Buckle night.
Yes. So round 9 was always fast. It's a round in which they've broken the arena record before and the world record before. Tonight was not quite that fast, but dang near.
Yeah, it was a split win tonight. Coleman, Proctor, and Logan Medlin, and Cody Snow and Wesley Thorp each were 3-5. And I feel like they kind of all needed that right there.
Absolutely. Cody and Wesley have been frustrated with the week that they have had. Coleman and Logan, they're pretty cheery fellers, but I'm sure they needed that money, and we're happy to have it. But the story of the night is what happens. The what-if situation. That's the story of the night. The world standings race, the average race. If it ended tonight, Caleb Driggers and Junior Nogueira would be your world champs with $251,469 and $265,855, respectively. They have about, going into this round, if everything ended tonight, they'd have about a $19,000. Caleb would have about $19,500 over Ren Richard, and Junior would have about $35,000 over Jeremy Bueller. So tomorrow's going to matter a lot for those guys. So yeah, we're just watching as this race unfolds. So we'll have some stories tomorrow with some predictions and previews. So
It's nerve-wracking. Very nerve-wracking.
Absolutely. To Caitlin, will you go over what happened in the rest of the round for everybody that might have missed it and is just listening to us for some reason to know what happened in the team roping?
Yeah, weird. You guys should have been watching the team roping, but we're glad you're here listening to us as well. Splitting third and fourth was Caleb and Junior, and Clint Summers and Ross Ashford with the 3-9, which that's great. Clint and Ross were had a slow week this week so far, so that was good. They got that right there.
We were talking to Clint Summers right before he roped, and he said, man, he's always wanted to win, but after this week, it's a whole new level. He said all he is going to do is rope. So I'm excited to see. I love watching Clint rope, and I love watching him ride a horse. So glad they got some money tonight to leave here with, and glad that it lit a fire for them.
Yeah. Fifth in the round was Ren Richard and Jeremy Bueller, which we're watching them in the average. And sixth, there was a split as well. That's Clay Trine and Jake Long, and Derek Begay and Brady Minor with a 4-4. So quick round in round 9.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun to watch right now. Round 9 is always one of the best ones to watch in the sport, and it did not disappoint. Well, we've got a longer episode of The Score tonight because we have split wins, which means I have to write twice as much. Caitlin has to edit twice as much. So we are going to turn this off and let you listen to the interviews.
And to start it off, you're going to listen to Cody Snow and Wesley Thorp.
Hi, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Magic happened tonight. That was fun.
That's right. Squirrel finds acorn every once in a while.
Tell me, we've talked about this all week, Wesley. You weren't displeased with, there wasn't anything majorly on fire in either of your ropings. What was going on?
Yeah, I mean, like we talked earlier, we got off to a bad start right off the bat. Round one, I made a mistake, roped a leg on one. I should not have done that. And then after that, we just had little thing, one after another happen. I kept getting to the inside. Our angles weren't great. Our steers were stronger, on the stronger end of them. And it just felt like I wasn't getting all the way around them. And I just decided to make a horse change. And then we made a couple of good runs and still kind of got in weird spots in the arena, didn't get flagged or didn't get as good a flag as we needed to place. And later in the week, the faster the rounds get, so it just makes it harder as you go. So we talked, a couple days ago, and we're like, what in the heck's happened? And it hadn't felt bad. I mean, we're catching a lot of steers. It's just not going our way. And we just both decided to stick to our game plan. And when we got the right steer, right opportunity, we could, capitalize on it. And I felt like that's what happened tonight. I mean, we really didn't change our game plan. We just stayed with it and stayed aggressive, and our angles were good, and the steer was good, and it came together.
Now, I've seen him enough this week that I know, he was never just hateful about any of this. Did you get sour about it at any point throughout the week?
No, I was just wanting to win. I mean, I was bummed we hadn't won any money. We've had I got some bad goes a little bit and just not nailing the barrier where we can. The rounds have been tough. It's been a good year open here. I mean,
it really has.
I mean, 4-3 hasn't placed multiple nights. I mean, 4-2 didn't place the other night. I mean, you got to make a good run and don't make any mistakes, and we just haven't been really doing that. We've been catching steers but not being fast enough. So I'm just happy that we've kind of got the ball rolling here at the end of the week a little bit and starting to place a little bit more. And we're still, just down one. So if we can keep catching this last year, I think we can still get a good average check. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Looks like it. Now, you made a horse change. Tell me about why you made that change.
So the sorrel, I've actually gotten riding a bunch since April, and I just fell in love with him, but I haven't rode him in the buildings much at all. I mean, I've maybe taken him to really one high-pressured situation. It was still a small crowd, small environment, but it just, to me, I could tell he was a little bit nervous here. Not bad, and I think it was a confidence thing for me. I wasn't riding aggressive enough. So whenever I could feel him, maybe being a little bit more on edge, I wasn't doing my job enough down the arena, getting to the right spots. I was kind of being more conservative, and he's so smooth and easy to do that and just catch. But it wasn't what was going to get us over the hump. So I thought, I was on the fence back and forth anyway prior on which horse to ride, and it just made it an easy decision because there's really only one way I like riding the black in a setup like that anyway, and I have enough confidence on him. So that's what caused the change.
Yeah, and Cody, people like to make changes when things aren't going their way. Did you ever think about getting on Bert? I mean, Andy's so great.
I've thought about it, but I don't think it's my horse. That's why we haven't been winning. So I just, honestly, the other night when we were 4 flat, I told myself in the 7th round, I said, if it doesn't get better right here, we're still too slow, I might change. But I want to get one more night. We finally had a good steer that I liked, and she worked good. So it was more me just being off the barrier on some of the good steers we had, and then not making good enough run on some of the stronger ones we had. So I thought about it, but I don't like to change things up because once you get in the groove, I'm just gonna 10 steers and just get back in the swing of things, and then it'll get better.
Annie's one of the only mares here. Is she? Are you gonna pull any embryos on her this year?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some babies on the ground this year. This will be the first year I do it, so.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, anything in mind? Any studs in mind?
I think I want to breed her that Would He Be Tough stud. I like him. I like his colts a lot, and I think I'm going to do that.
Cool. He just sold for $1.3 million yesterday, so no time like now to breed to Would He Be Tough. That's cool.
That's right.
That's awesome. Well, have fun going at the rounds again tomorrow night. Is that you're telling me you're thinking about the average payout though? So are you going to go for it tomorrow or?
Yeah, I think the one exciting thing for us here is our run doesn't vary a whole lot. I mean, there's never a time where we really want to slow down, or I feel like he's got a lot of control with his head horse and the way he ropes. And here at Heelan, you got to get around him and take your first best throw. So we'll probably play it how it falls, but if we draw a good steer, there's no sense we couldn't just try to make our run and win something in the round and then see where it falls in the average.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
And now enjoy our final interview on the score with Coleman, Proctor, and Logan Medlin.
Well, 3-5. Tell me about that round. Did you get to watch much?
I
From the
try
back?
not to. Yeah, from
Yeah.
the back. I try not to watch it too close, but I did. After we got back there, I stood somewhat close just to kind of see how it was shaking out. But I never once tried to let myself think that I had it won, because obviously you never know clearly, because we got tied 3-5, fastest I've ever been, and I didn't even win it outright. So they made a great run. I was just happy to get a part of it tonight, because we knew it was going to be fast, and clearly it was.
Yeah, it was. That's crazy. That's awesome that you guys got to get a part of it. 3-5. Coleman, was that the fastest you've ever been here, or were you and Jake 3-5 here?
No, that's the fastest I've ever been here at the National Finals. I was 3-1 one time healing at the Indian World Finals for Cody Joe Heflin, but that was the first time I've ever been 3-5. I think that's the fastest I've ever been here. You know what? That was before we had like the good cameras on your phone. I know, we're getting up there in age. So no, it's not. Derek Begay and I were talking about that last night in the contestants lounge. You used to come here, and if you had a redraw, you'd watch the old DVDs they set out for you complimentary every night. And this year, Derek asked me, he said, does anybody even turn that TV on? And I said, no, not anymore. Technology's came a long ways. And I think that's a big contributor, to such great team roping you're getting to watch. I mean, like Logan said, you go 3-5 and sit at the end of the tunnel and just sit there and hope you place. It's incredible to watch. It's a fun time to be a team roper.
It is a fun time to be a team roper. Man, we watched those world record runs because it was in round 9 in 2009. So here we are. I thought it could maybe happen tonight. Glad it did not, though, for your sake.
Yeah, I mean, clear. Yeah, exactly.
Man, I'd been hitting the corner when I faced. I mean, really, I think we could have been a smidge faster, but Hasman's feet were still moving quite a bit. Like he was used to having to hit that corner and step up out of his face a little bit. So maybe we could have got a shutdown and got close to the arena record, but it was a great watching.
Yeah, absolutely. If it ended tonight, you guys would be 9th in the world. Are you watching the world standings race at all as team roping fans?
Oh, I mean, I hadn't really looked.
Not fans. Not feeling like you're not a fan.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I've tried not to watch it. I mean, we're clearly not in the contention for the world title, but I just know that it seems like every year, even whenever you're sitting at home watching it, who they think has the inside track, man, there might be somebody you never even thought of that wins it. So I don't really feel like whether I was in the race for it or not, I don't think it's something the guys will really have a good idea of, because so much can change.
What about being in the top 10 in the world matters a lot going into next year, and you guys are right there on the bubble at 9th. Why does that matter so much for people that might not understand?
Well, that's one thing we talked about, a few rounds back was, being in the top 10 allows you to go to the American, and that's a huge opportunity right there. I mean, I'm proof that anybody can win the American, so it's almost bittersweet. Like, you want to be. It's going to pay. It's going to pay $2 million next year. So, if we miss the cut line, there's always that silver lining. I mean, anybody can win the American million side pot, I like to say. But no, it's definitely, of course, we're not in contention at the top side to win the world this year. But setting ourselves up for next year, staying inside the top 10 is becoming very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's not just the American, right? What is Houston now? I mean,
it's top 30.
So you'll be fine in Houston. You'll be fine in all
mainly
the
it's
mainly
the
American. Yeah, mainly the American. Everybody else has been coming to sit here and looking at this sheet, thinking about that so far tonight. So hopefully it works out for everybody. Well, I guess it won't work out for 5 guys, so that was a dumb thing to say. Idiot.
I know what you mean.
Why do they let me talk sometimes? Well, congrats, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Hey, and thanks for your coverage all week, man. I've really been enjoying listening to the short score.
Thanks.
You do get in there and you ask all the important questions everybody wants to know, so thank you for your coverage.
Have you been watching the replay? Do you know what we're
I have been watching the replay. That's an interesting deal. I mean, that's been a neat. Trevor's done a phenomenal job, Patrick, and then Motzi. He did a great job.
Motzi did a really good job. I wish he was here longer too.
I wish people could really get a full, this week, of course, you've always got the people who want to give their advice, and it's always coming from good places in their hearts. But, like when I missed my first one, I've had people telling me I was trying to go too fast. And it's like, no, that was the slowest I've thrown it all week. You know what I mean? And so it's neat to get other people who rope great and have roped in this building, get their perspective, and to try to illustrate to people just how difficult and how great a runs these guys are really making.
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing it for the World Series too. So there's so that'll be it's a nice different.
All right, I'm going to ask this because we all practice together.
Do it.
Not to take over your show.
Please.
But I want odds odds on Andrew Ward and Buddy breaking the record. You know, that is something like we came out here, everybody had their eyes set on it. I did. I mean, I wanted to win the average out here, and I want to shatter that record. That's a record that stood for a long time. We see roping is getting faster every night, but, you know, Buddy, and then they got, 10.5 seconds to get it done?
They do.
You know, we had the opportunity to practice together, and all of us kind of spar. And how neat is that for Andrew Ward to have a chance to do something that huge his first trip to the Thomas?
I think it's amazing. And we were talking about, I don't remember the last time anybody, I asked Clay and Jade that last night, like asked Jade when he remembers, and he said he thinks Nick and Colin made it pretty far.
JoJo the Mon had an opportunity, even with a barrier. The year that he came in place of Jake Barnes, came in 16th, almost won the world.
You're right.
He had a chance until he lost his rope on the 10th one. So, I mean, that's just a true testament because those are some of the greatest ropers that we'll ever see. And it's still awesome that the king, Jake Barnes.
If you're not rooting for Andrew Ward and Buddy Hawkins right now, like, do you what is wrong
Do you
with
have a
you?
pulse?
Do you have a
Exactly.
pulse? That's
Great guys. Yeah, they're easy to cheer for.
Yes, they're like the best people. I know Jake and Clay are at home cheering for them. Like, I don't think there's anybody not wanting them to do that tomorrow night. So I'm almost as excited, probably more excited for that to happen than to see who wins the world.
There's a lot of neat stuff going to happen tomorrow night now, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, gosh, yeah, I don't even want to jinx them. I don't want to talk about it too much because
but I just want to wish them the best of luck.
I do
It's been
too.
impressive to watch to this point because it's kind of like seeing a hole-in-one happen. You know what I mean? You wanted to think about it or talk about it, but you don't want to talk or think about it.
Yeah.
But it's been neat to see them set the table up so well. I mean,
They've been a tough team to follow. We're right behind them every time, so it's they've done a good job, and we've got to see it. You know, there's some teams here that where you rope as compared to where they rope, you don't. There's some guys I haven't seen them run a steer because you can't really see much. But then I've got to see all 9 of them to this point, and it's been very impressive.
Yeah, and Buddy has a little girl on the way or a little boy?
I think a little girl.
I don't
what he
know.
told
We
me.
were doing a gender reveal on the Anthony Lucius show the other day, so you guys might have broadcast that to the world. But we didn't get to do it. I'm just kidding. No, we ended up not getting to do it because he wouldn't reveal that information early. But I don't know if he's got a girl or boy. I hope he's got a girl. I think everybody should be a girl dad
I think so too.
and make the world a better place.
Yes, because you're such a soft soul now, Coleman.
I am.
Such a gentle soul.
Yeah, that's what Clay Trine tells me all the time. He said, "You're too soft. You need some boys." I told my wife that the other night when we got back to the room. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had mother-in-law, wife, 2 little girls. Everybody's yelling at me, and I was just like, you know what? Not my mother-in-law. She wasn't yelling at me, but the kids were yelling at me. And I looked at Steph. I said, "I need some more guys in this rig." She said, "No more chances. That's it.
No.
We're done entering."
Yeah, she was.
She said, "Get your stuff. We're going home. You cannot enter the jackpot anymore." 2 little girls. That's what I'll have.
Poor Steph. Wasn't it the last time we were in Vegas that she found out she was pregnant?
Yeah, that was actually in 18. That was,
18.
yeah,
Okay.
I was here just working for the Cowboy Channel. And night 1, you know, we're kind of
I
excited.
remember.
Take a bottle of wine and a pregnancy test to the room to figure out. End up drinking that whole bottle of wine by myself. You know, and Steph ended up just sitting on the couch or on the bed and a little more distraught. And then actually, she wouldn't even tell her mom. It was funny. I ended up telling everybody.
You
that
told
she
me.
worked with. Well, I told everybody that week. I was so excited. You know what I mean? Like that's something I was really excited about. And they wanted me to be the MC at their Christmas party where she works. And I ended up at the end of the night revealed to everybody. So and she made me go home right then and tell her mom. I was like, Steph, you're going to have to tell him eventually. And it's going to be weird when all of a sudden you show up, hey, who's this kid? I'm like, oh, found it. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do? I mean, that's an honest question.
Oh, God, I'm so glad we brought that up. Thank you, Coleman.
I never let it get dull here on the short score.
God bless you, Steph. We are so grateful you tolerate Coleman after all these years.
Hey, you know, she did say this morning, like, I was like, you know, it's hard being in Vegas having 2 toddlers. And she's like, I have 3. I have 3 toddlers. I have the girls and you.
She's not wrong. That's so funny. And anybody who doesn't know Coleman's wife, she is as much of a saint as you could possibly imagine.
Well, what brought that up is I'm bad to go to these Cowboy Christmases where we got a sign, you know? And I always go for the have you seen it on TV ads. You know what I mean? First year I'm here, I buy a scooter, and it no longer works. I mean, Logan, he got a dose of my scooter. The alarm system still works, but it will not. It will
Motor
not
doesn't
maneuver.
run, but the alarm system works great.
And so the next year we buy Stella a car that you can remote control. She drives it, but you actually drive it for her. It no longer works. I bought a scope, and it quit working. I still haven't gotten it back. So the other day, they got me again with the sweeper that like gets all the stuff
saw
up
that.
out of your stalls.
I saw.
I mean, it picked up a tall boy beer can.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I thought, we need this because my wife gets mad because I want to blow the barn out, and she always says it hurts her horse's lungs, too dusty, blah blah blah. So I bought it, thought she was gonna be proud. I was thinking of her barrel horse, but now she's like, no, nothing ever works when we get it home. So, you're welcome, Steph. I said, surely I'll win something else that'll pay for it.
You should get one of those big massage chairs that like.
We've got it.
You have one. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Hey, Logan's got a cool story about a massage chair almost paralyzing him.
Tell me more.
Yeah. At Reno this year, the day after the BFI, I sat in one of those really good massage. I love those things. I sat in it, let it do its thing for about 20-30 minutes. Woke up the next morning. We had to fly to Springdale, and I could not feel either one of my hands. I could not close my hands.
He couldn't button his pants. He actually had to have John Wayne McDaniel button
No,
his pants.
that is false. Cut that off the score, please.
No.
That is not true. But I couldn't. I had to for about a week. I had to take Dex. Is the only way I could make my hands. I had no strength. I couldn't. I could grip your hand and squeeze it as hard as I could. No, you wouldn't.
Did you go to a chiropractor or something?
I went to a chiropractor.
Mays County.
2 of them. Yeah. Well, I drove to Springdale. We were going to practice a little bit that day before we roped, and I tried to leave the box, and just all the coils, reins, everything fell out of my hand. Horse ran to the back gate. So it was the worst time, right, for the 4th, for me not to be able to feel my hands. It turns out I got an MRI and I had a bulged disc. It was pinching on my spinal cord. And they said that massage chair probably tweaked it. It wasn't the reason, but it tweaked it, and never again will I pour myself into one of them chairs. I don't care how good it feels.
My mother-in-law has one. I sit in it every time I go to her house.
My in-laws have one, and there's people that come over and sit in it so much that they unplug it and shut the breaker off and tell people that it's broken.
No, it's broken.
Yeah, it's broken. Not me though. I sit in it all the
No,
time.
I know
their tricks.
I know where the breaker in that thing plugs in.
I know their tricks.
That's awesome.
Well, this is the comeback story of the year. You came back from a massage chair injury
hardly.
to
Yeah.
Shows you how tough I am.
Front of the
There's
NFR.
Logan Medlin, and then there's JB Mooney. You know what I mean? Like, let's be
It's the perfect analogy. All right, guys, you're free to go.